Hello, it's the Saturday Speakie. I've got a couple of things to talk about today, and I'm going to start with a message that was sent to me by a chap called Graham Roberts. I'll read it to you. Hi Steve, hope you're well. I am well, thank you. This may be something you could talk about. I'll get to the subject. I bought a Wii for my daughter as it is fairly child friendly. It was a recent purchase. I deliberately bought an old Wii so that she could go online and watch Netflix. However, the other day I got an email through the Wii from Nintendo saying from April or May, can't remember, the online and Wi-Fi service will be discontinued. I understand that the Wii U has superseded the Wii. That said, surely just cutting the service without much warning and providing a fait accompli is not the best way to win customers. Oh, it may well be that I have been under a rock and this has been on the cards for ages, in which case ignore me. However, my understanding of the target market for the Wii is that it was aimed at people that were not usually into gaming or who were not hardcore gaming. So surely forcing grannies and small children to buy a Wii U, which I know is different to PS4 and Xbox, is not really going to work, as the price is not massively different to that of the aforementioned consoles. Take care, Graham. P.S. I know you're not a fan of the Wii. However, yes, absolutely, however, it's an interesting subject, and I agree. I think it's stupid, and I think this is another example, and I've said it before in assorted comments and maybe even in videos. I think Nintendo have lost the plot at the moment. I do understand that online services for hardware or games at some point have to end. And I suppose I don't know how many people are still using the Wii U and it's not the Wii. How many people are still using the Wii's online features? I don't know. Can you still go, or could you, because I think they've turned it off now, go online and play Mario Kart Wii online? That's one of the very, very few things I ever did with the Wii online, was play Mario Kart, and it was fun and I liked it, and I did it more than once. And it's not very often I turned the Wii on. It sits down there now and it hasn't been turned on in a long time. And that might be true for a lot of other people, but I do think turning off the online service is a bit too soon. Yeah, alright, it's been superseded, but I think it's still a relevant system. How long has Battlefield 3 been out? How long? I still play Battlefield 1943 from time to time. I mostly play Battlefield 3, but these are online games. And what's that? Warhawk? I don't know. Is that still going? Have they pulled the plug on that? It does bother me when systems and important features of systems are reliant on an online aspect, because there's always going to be that point where the plug is pulled. Like the PSP Go. Sooner or later, Sony will pull the plug on their PSP software, and things like the PSP Go will be useless. I was looking at one the other day in Cash Converters or something, and they had one for a sensible price, and I thought, and then I thought, yeah, we don't want to be able to get bugger all to put on it fairly soon. Though, anyway, I'm straying from the point. Yeah, I mean, Nintendo, I think, are losing the plot. They've brought out the Wii U and it's not doing well, and they're not doing a whole lot to fix that situation. And so pulling online services from the previous console, which is hugely popular, a very, sold really well, lots of people got one, maybe lots of people don't use them anymore, but I think it sends a bad message. The Wii U has been out how long? Not that long. And they've pulled the service on the previous console. It doesn't send a good message. Yes, Microsoft did it with the Xbox, the original Xbox. When they brought out the 360, they pulled the plug. Upset a lot of people. I don't think it's the way to go. Sony I think, get it right. They maintain support for their previous consoles for a long time after they've been superseded. Yeah, and Nintendo need to be instilling trust, and they're not doing that. I look at them now, and I think a lot of people will, and think, is that such a good buy? Ignoring, well, no. I mean, there is the fact that third-party content on their current console is not great. Third-party content on their previous console was not great. So you want to get the most out of the stuff that you buy. If you're buying first-party, proper Nintendo games, and they've got an online feature, you want to know that support for that is going to last, because theirs are pretty much the only games you're going to be able to play. And if they pull the plug on it, and you were thinking about getting a Wii U, when you see they've pulled the plug on the Wii, and I mean, it's not just the support for the games, it's the downloadable stuff. And the Wii email facilities, all those features, gone. Updates, okay, who gives I don't personally give a damn about updates, but I do give a damn about like the online store and the ability to download the games and stuff. Say one of your files of a game that you bought and downloaded has corrupted and you need to replace it. Can't do that now. If I'm understanding what they discontinued, it's not just the game matching, the thing that puts you in the game, it's the whole online thing, isn't it? It's all gone, I believe. Not good. Not good at all. I know it's a fact of life in gaming. Servers will get turned off eventually, but I think they're jumping the gun, and I think they're shooting themselves in the foot in so many ways, and this is just another example of that. They don't quite know what they're doing. So, interesting question. Your thoughts? Right. Edit number 5 bit. I have screwed this up so often now. I don't know if this is take 4 or 5 on this section. I'm going to do a video response to Novabug's Retro Waffle 200 subs special competition thingy. Yeah. Ignoring the competition part, I'm not doing this response to win any prizes. I'm doing it because these are good questions and they're fun. So I'll start. Question number 1. If you could go back in time and change one design aspect from one of your favourite consoles or systems, what would it be? The change must adhere to the technology at the time the machine was made. No cheating. I'm kind of torn over this actually, because there's the Amiga, and I was going to say Mega Drive had the sprite scaling from the Mega CD. They could have done it at the time and just made it a much more powerful, useful, brilliant console. And that was going to be my answer. And you know, they had the ability, they had the technology. They probably, with mass production, could have made it affordable, and that would have been epic. But they kind of left it a bit late, stuck it all in the Mega CD, and it bombed because it was too expensive. But anyway, no. Amiga, Commodore Amiga. I wish to God they had not just sat on their asses and let it stagnate. I wish they had released something like the Amiga 1200, say a year or so before that. They had the ability, they had the money, they had everything they needed, they just didn't have the will. They needed an Amiga 1200 with a 68030 processor, some extra RAM, and release it a year earlier than they did. Things could have been very, very different. That's what I wish they'd done. Just faster Amiga 1200. Yeah, it's supposed to be one aspect, isn't it? Alright, God, because the 030 and the fast RAM need to go hand in hand. So I'm gonna cheat 2 aspects. And he said no cheating, damn it. more, okay, the Amiga 1200 should have had, oh, how the hell do you decide between an 030 processor and an extra 2 meg of fast RAM? An extra 2 meg of fast RAM would have doubled the speed. A 50 megahertz 030 without the fast RAM is kind of crippled. You make your mind up. One of those. Yes, 1200, 1 year earlier, 50 megahertz 030, 2 meg of fast RAM. No, cheating, don't care. What is your favourite kind of glass? This is question 2. That kind, when it's that full of whiskey, and it doesn't even have to be good whiskey. Teachers, bells, I don't care. Cheap blended crap. Not too cheap. None of your under the counter brewed in a barn kind of stuff, but you know, yeah. Console-geddon. Which console or system would you save from extinction? All other systems and their games will have never existed. Which one do you pick? No emulation allowed either, so no. No, I like people who use no. I use no a lot. If you pick a PC, only PC games will be available. This includes backward compatibility. Commodore Amiga. Yeah, absolutely. Every other system goes out the window, dead, never existed. Commodore Amiga, AGA based. Yeah. Mine, 68060 powered. Easy. Question number 4. What character would you like to be in the film The Labyrinth? And if you haven't watched it, explain why. I have only watched Labyrinth once, and I was a teen, and I can't remember anything about it except it's got David Bowie in it. So I would have to be David Bowie, or whatever. Was he a Goblin King or something? I mean, he was a bad guy, wasn't he? I don't really remember. I can't remember if he was any good or not. I see the pictures of him with the weird hair and the weird clothes, and I just think, but... And I've heard music from the soundtrack, his songs from that. I've got pretty much every David Bowie studio album, but not that, because it's god-awful, and I don't want anything to do with it. But with a film like that, you've got the choice, David Bowie or a whole load of other people who aren't David Bowie. Why would you be anyone else? It's a no-brainer. What's next? Okay, question 5. What is your favourite video game media format and why? Cartridges. And why not? Okay, I know why not actually, because they are they're limited in terms of storage, like N64 cartridges versus PS1 discs. The N64 struggled really badly. The full motion video was out the window, the music was compressed and not as good, and textures and everything were all pretty fuzzy and blur. But I don't give a crap about that. I'm thinking like 16-bit era. What? 16-bit era? Try and speak the same language as everyone else. 16-bit and earlier, epic, love them. It's when it got later that they started becoming impractical, and Neo Geo book-sized cartridges that big are kind of a bit, well, they're awesome, but they're not really practical. But yes, cartridges, I love them. They're just pure nostalgia. The whole stick it in, turn it on, and away you go. What? Yeah, and I mean, SD cards are kind of like the natural evolution from that. Like, yeah, and modern, what? You know, technically, probably not a cartridge. There are no ROM chip. Are there ROM chip? I don't know what's on these. I don't care, but that's awesome, and I love it. And that's kind of, I'm going to say that's a cartridge. Great. They're my favourite. Discs, all kinds of discs, they break. They get scratched, they get demagnetized. Tapes, Well, tapes are turning out to be really quite reliable, I have found, so long as they're looked after. Yeah, but give me a cartridge every time. What video game is your guilty pleasure? No, wait. 6. Which science fiction spacecraft would you like to be real and exist in our time? Well, I was going to say the Defiant from Deep Space Nine, but it's just a bit too aggressive, and you just know governments and whatnot as they are now, with all the saber rattling and blah blah blah. They're just, you know, it's uber cool. I love the size of it. I love the nature of it. Its engines are too powerful for its body, and it nearly tears itself apart and stuff, and it's just chock full of guns. Love it, but it wouldn't get used for being cool. It would get used for killing people. So discounting that, there are some incredible spaceships in Babylon 5, but it's so long since I watched it that I can't really remember what is... There's a cat making weird noises outside the door. Yeah, I can't remember enough about it, so I'm not going to comment on them. Now I'm going to have to say the Millennium Falcon. It's got hyperdrive, it's a bucket of bolts, so you can do interstellar travel. It's not overly powerful in terms of guns, and if it ran across some kind of, I don't know, Klingon thing, actually I mean Klingon warbird, yeah. No, Millennium Falcon. It's weedy enough to not be a really, really threatening thing. It's cool. It reminds me of my car. All right, my car hasn't got the hyperdrive, but it's that it's held together with, I don't know, gaffer tape and bits of wire. Actually, my car isn't. It just feels that way. Yeah, it's the kind of knackered but still working nature of it, and it looks incredible. And it sounds brilliant. I love the Millennium Falcon sound. When it takes off from Mos Eisley, that's just a bloody awesome sound. Okay. Question 7. What video game is your guilty pleasure? The Weakest Link on the PS1. I don't play it very... No, I haven't played it since I made a video of it, which I've since taken down because content ID. But that is a game I love to rip the piss out of. You play it, you've got What's-Her-Face and Thingamajig and other dumb people, and it's just so much fun to rip the piss out of it. It's great. And I think Who Wants to Be a Millionaire is up there with it as well. I don't like those kind of games, but when you've got a quiz game and the person is actually talking at you and they're taking the piss, well, you just take the piss right back at them. Yes, that's that one. Do you think you act your age? What do you think? No. Where responsibilities and things like that are concerned, yes, I take care of business and do what's necessary. But if it is not required that I be... Well, it's... if I'm out, if I'm in polite company, say when I'm at play in Blackpool in a month or whatever, it's less than a month now, and if I meet people, I will behave like a normal adult would be expected to behave, and you'll be able to have a sensible conversation with me. But when I'm at home, and I'm with Andrea, and we twat about, talk absolute nonsense, utter just bollocks is spoken and stuff constantly, and it's fun. I mean, why on earth? I'm not ready for the pipe and slippers. Not. I gave up smoking anyway, but you know, and I wear Birkenstocks when I'm indoors. That might be worse. No, definitely don't act my age. I don't see a reason to. Why Why be a boring fuddy-duddy? You know, yes, getting old is compulsory. Growing up, optional. And why bother? Why live a boring life when you can have a laugh? Anyway, who to you is the most annoying, tedious, arseache, goody video game character? Easy, Mario. Pisses me off. They never should have let him speak. He was tolerable when he was just an ugly plumber with a big nose. But once they let him speak, I want to punch him on that big nose. Yep. What game has your favourite original soundtrack? This does not include games with commercial music. Sonic the Hedgehog 1. I love that. Just the Green Hill Zone does it for me. Everything that comes after that, but the Green Hill Zone, love it. I mean, there is another game which the music on it really... I don't... Shut up. God. I can't play the music in my head, but I know whilst playing it at the time, I was constantly impressed by how good the music was. And that's Halo, the original Halo on the Xbox. Really impressed by that. But Sonic the Hedgehog, oh God, and wait, I had this stuck in my brain for years, to the point that I had to buy the game to hear the music to get it out of my brain, and that's James Pond 2, Robocod. So that actually might be more than Sonic. It's tricky one there. We'll say those two. So I'm cheating completely, but you know, I don't care. 11. What is your favourite type of weather? Warm and sunny, but no warmer than 70 degrees. That is the optimum. 70 degrees, sunshine, with a very gentle breeze, just a little bit of movement. Yeah, I mean, it's that or snow. I like snow, but it can get a bit tedious, and it kind of restricts what you can do and where you can go. Beautiful, love it, like walking in it. Except like if it gets waist high, and then it can be a problem. But while I love that, I wouldn't want that every day. Where the 70 degrees with a light breeze and rain at night. Yeah, let it rain at night, not in the daytime. That would be perfect. Okay, question number 12. Optional. Ask Novabug anything. Keep it clean-ish. Would you rather piss nails or crap breeze blocks? Yeah, that was juvenile, wasn't it? See question 8. I don't know. Yeah, that. Answer if you can. Completely silly and pointless. That'll do. Great set of questions. Really, I just wanted to answer them. Moving on. Actually, not moving. Yes, check out his original video. Link down there. 200 subs special and competition thingy. Novabug. Great channel. Love his stuff. Check him out. Moving on. Oh, and congrats. Not quite moving on. Congrats on your 200 subscribers, because it's a nice number, isn't it? 200. It's that would fill a room, big room, jam-packed very easily, and you look at it and think, that's a lot of people. It's also good because at that kind of number you can keep track of who is who, really. Yeah. Now, moving on. I ain't got a lot else to move on to, but TRexSpaceStation. He has done his 1 year anniversary special, and it's a collaboration video, and there are several cool people in it doing gameplay videos, and I'm one of them. It's assuming I'm cool, but anyway, probably not. Completely juvenile, but nevertheless I have a video clip in there where I play a game badly. God, so badly. And you cannot see that video anywhere else. And the other clips by other people are good, so go and watch. And congratulate him on 1 year, because I like his channel, I like what he does, he's a cool guy and makes good videos. So link to his 1 year anniversary down there. Yeah. So what have I got coming up? More of the same. I'm working my way through this box here, full of games sent by Stu, Ninja Bear Hug. So there will be more of that. There's going to be more Game Boy, certainly more Game Boy, and other stuff. There's a lot, as you will have seen last week. Working through that. Other stuff, I put a video up on Benway's World yesterday where I'm just walking around Sheffield and pointing my camera at stuff. So if you've ever wondered what Sheffield looks like, particularly in black and white, particularly with slightly dodgy camera work, link or go to Benway's World. It's my latest video there, because that channel is just stuff that doesn't fit here, because I like to do lots of different things, and if it's not retro gaming you'll find it there, unless it's political puppet based satire or Android video games, because you'll find them on completely different channels. Anything else I can tell you? No, except I'm hungry. Feed me. I think I'll go now. Thank you for watching.
If you enjoyed this video, please consider clicking the thumbs up button. I upload videos daily, so go ahead and hit subscribe if you'd like to see more. To all those who've already subscribed, I'd just like to say a great big thank you.